Good morning, YouTube. This is Trader Rob, and here is day 2 testing Robert Anderson's gold line trading bot. And on the top left, you're looking at the
Order
Russell,
canceled.
and on the top right, you're looking at oil. We actually just took our first trade. It's 9:08 Central Time, October 18th. I wasn't able to hit the record button soon enough, but you saw it literally just got into this trade. So let's break down the trade and let's see what other setups we can get on this pretty awesome system. Here's the intro. All right, as always, nothing that I say on this channel is any financial advice. Futures trading, any type of trading, is risky business. You can lose all of your funds, and I am doing this just for entertainment purposes. Hopefully we can all learn together and get better as traders. So, all right, so we took first trade of the day. So the system is set to start at 8:45 Central Time. Like I said, it's 9:09 right now on the 18th of October, and it did activate for a trade on the Russell. So it was a 5-minute gold line trade where it pierced into it. Like the setup, because there was some potential here to, there was definitely some room, which is something that Robert Anderson likes. He's always talking about. So this first trade lost. So it lost $60. And so 12 ticks. And you can see that our entry was right here. And it hit our stop pretty much right away. I mean, I don't think I was in that trade for very long at all. So first trade was a loss. I am trading both of these strategies today on my Top Step evaluation account. For some of you that have questioned, yes, you can trade this on Top Step. At least I haven't had an issue with trading it on Top Step. So I traded it yesterday. Yesterday, if you guys watched my video, I had a trade. I was having issues with oil, and it was an issue not with the system, but I was having an issue with NinjaTrader with oil, which I thought it was fixed. I talked to customer service yesterday, and then this morning I thought it was fixed, but again this morning I wasn't able to get into an oil trade that I was stalking. So that was a little frustrating, and that has been frustrating, but oil seems to be charting fine today. But if you remember yesterday, I was in oil, noticed I was having an issue with the data connection, and switched it over to the S&P. And right as I made the switch to the S&P, I was like, boom, right into a trade. Trade hit for 5 points, $250. So had a plus. I took a Russell trade before that we lost $55. So I think the Russell in total, I've taken 2 trades with the new system, and both of those trades have lost. But the ES got me $250. So yesterday, I think I had on that eval account, I had a positive of either 185 or 190 bucks. Can't remember exactly. And again, people, I will let you know if I am trading cash account, if I am trading a funded account, or if I'm trading my eval account. Currently, what you're seeing on your screen, both of these charts are on my Top Step eval accounts. Okay, so I want to get that very clear. Now, something I've been thinking about is, as you know, I've documented it many times that I prefer trading in the cash account, just because, to me it's like it's I guess it's that instant gratification of just having those funds, being able to to just grab that money. Again, on the flip side, it could hurt you. It could obviously, you could lose those just as easy. But something I was thinking about is, and I guess I want to see how this is going to shape out here today, Thursday, and Friday of this week. But if things are looking pretty decent, I'm thinking about creating a small cash account challenge, where I'll fund, I could fund my Ninja Trader. I've got a sub account that I can fund with 1,500 or $2,000, and let's trade the system for a month and see where we're at. I'll probably pick 2 instruments, and most likely is going to be the micro contracts, because just, with that small of an account, I don't think that I can be. I know I could trade full contracts, the ES or the RTY or the CL, but risk, just for risk percentage of capital, I don't think that would be a smart idea. So I'd probably go into some micros, but I'll trade it for 30 days. I'll document the journey. I'll video document the journey, and we'll see. I mean, I know a lot of people are really interested in the system. I know I've been following his development of it for many months, and the system rocks. I mean, win or lose, I get that. That's going to be an important factor in any system. But from what he, I think, envisioned, from what his original his goal line strategy was, to what you're seeing on the screen is pretty damn good. It's pretty accurate. It's a good representation of his strategy. And I've so far, everything that I've seen, how it works, I really like it. So that's my initial thoughts on the system. Again, I understand, my people, that a system is usually just graded on P&L, and I get it. That's going to be an important factor. Nobody wants to lose money or continuously lose money with the system. But so far, my initial thoughts is the system represents Robert Anderson's gold line trades that he has been preaching on his channel for over a year. I will link his channel in the description below. I'm not going to go over his strategy, so I'll probably butcher it, but I mean, I've been trading it manually for a long time, and I feel like I've got a good, a good grasp on it. But he's the one he's a creator of it. If you want to learn the strategy, which I highly recommend if you want to buy this trading bot, which is $350 a month. He sells an indicator, I think, which the indicator is exactly what you're looking at here, for $175 on his website, and then the auto trader, which is what I purchased, is $350 a month. So if you are interested in his system, in this trading bot, I would learn his strategy, which you could just go back a year in his channel and start watching his strategy. He explains it really well, really down-to-earth kind of guy, and learn it and then purchase it. I mean, granted, yes, you could just purchase it, load it up on your system, and get going, but it's nice to know exactly why and the reasoning behind why it's taking some of these trades, and also why it's not taking some of these trades. So, that's important. One feedback that I got yesterday was about stretching my screen for you guys to be able to see a lot more of the information that's on here. So I'm trying to do my best of that. When I get into a trade, I like to open it up a little bit even more just so you guys can see. But that's a good way for you guys to see the strategy in action, I guess. So we'll see if we're able to capture another opportunity. I almost feel like I should have just opened up another chart and threw up like the NQ on there to kind of see what was going on. But then I noticed in yesterday's video that it's when you got 3 charts up, it's a little bit more difficult to to view the details on what the system is actually doing. But again, we want action, and the more charts you have with the strategy on, the more action you're going to get. I wouldn't necessarily advise, I don't advise at all, but I wouldn't want to put that many strategies on a Top Step eval account, because you could have a really bad day if everything goes to shit. So I'm not going to do that. So let me know in the comments below if you think that the small account challenge, cash account challenge would be something you guys would be interested in following with this Robert Anderson's gold line strategy. Just so you guys know, I am going to be putting out a video hopefully tomorrow, or it might come out on Friday, on my oil trade setup that I take every morning. So it's 2 trades in the morning. I've been talking about it. I love the trade. It's super simple. You guys might even be like, wait, Rob, this is way too simple. But and it is. But man, I back test it, because I've back tested the shit out of it, and it's been profitable for me. It's really helped me grow my cash accounts, and again, so I'm going to make a video on that. I'm going to post that on the channel. And then I've got a few more strategies that I use every morning. As you guys know, I have my journey in trading, 2 years. Well, I've been trading now for 3 years, but those first 2 years were kind of brutal. I was looking on YouTube for every single strategy you can known to man. And I still do. I still watch YouTube way too much, and I'm trying to educate myself. I'm trying to look for things that are working, and I'm kind of glad that I went that route, because if I wouldn't have been looking on YouTube, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I wouldn't found some of the strategies that I use. And one thing that I've really noticed is, the one thing that has helped my trading the most over the last 6 to 7 months, where I've really turned the corner, I've started to become profitable, and better trades, better trade management. What I have found is, I think I was way more of a discretionary trader in the beginning, and that leads, and there's some really good discretionary. I mean, there's some people that can look at a chart and be like, I'm going long here, this is my target, I'm going to stay in this trade, and they've got the balls to do that, where, it works for some people, but I just know from my own trading strategy that it did not work. And another big issue that I was having is I was bouncing around way too many strategies. I wouldn't let a strategy give it time for it to work, which is extremely important. As I've mentioned, I think a lot of these strategies, I think they work. It's just you have to be patient with them. You got to give them a chance. It's got to be a long-term thing, not like I took 2 bad trades today, this strategy doesn't work, I got to go on to something else. That was me for 2 years. So the one thing that has helped is I have switched from becoming discretionary trader to more of a time-based technical trader, meaning that I'm looking for certain setups during certain time periods, and I will take those setups every time that I'm presented with them. And I like that. It for some reason, that has helped me from over trading. It has helped me really hone in on the strategy that I am currently using. And one thing that I do that I think is, I guess maybe the good traders do it. I know I wasn't doing it before. One thing I do is, now if I got a strategy, I back test it every 30 days. Okay? So I'm trying to see, and I journal all of my trades every single day. Again, something I never used to do. I know a lot of people are like, write it down and write in a journal. I've got my journal here somewhere. But you know what? I'm like, I can't do that. I just got an Excel spreadsheet now that I journal what my entries are, what the result of the trade was. I put in, what my thought was there. And I backtest every 30 days to see how I can optimize the strategy, make sure my stop loss and my take profits are, still fitting what the market is giving. Because like oil is a great example. Oil, the last like month and a half, it's just been ripping, man. I mean, it's like, I think you could have almost any strategy and make some money in oil. And we all know that's not the case. But seriously, oil's been ripping, and then sometimes you go through periods where oil is just not moving, and it's hard to get those bigger targets that you're looking for. So if you just stay in a box and you continue to trade in that same box, eventually the market's going to change, and you're still in that box. You're going to lose money. So I think that that's an extremely important part of the strategy, of any strategy, is to continuously let it evolve with what the market is giving you. So that's something that I've been doing, and I think that has been helping me out, tremendously. This morning I took a trade in the NASDAQ, which I lost. So I lost $250 on my cash account on the NASDAQ trade this morning. So I took the trade long on that 5-minute opening candle, that super strong candle, and then just got wicked out. Obviously the reversal, if you guys were looking at the NQ this morning. So I lost on that one. But again, that strategy, that win rate has been ridiculously good for me. So I'll take I'm perfectly fine taking a loss there. I'm not changing anything on that. I could take 2 or 3 losses consecutively throughout the days, and I would still be extremely profitable this month. So I know that strategy is a good one. I will eventually make a video on that one. So I've got an NQ that I like to do in the morning. I've got an oil that I like to take, one between 8 and 9 a.m. Central Time, and another one between 9 and 10 Central Time. So I've got a natural gas setup that I really like to do. That's that's right after 8 a.m. So both of those trades, the gas and the oil, I like that window right after 8 a.m. So that's another one that I will show. And then some other guys that I have watched on YouTube and picked up some strategies. There was a strategy. The guy's channel is Quant Trade, and he's got it's a pretty simple candlestick pattern that he was looking for in the NQ. And I really took a liking to it. I was trading it. Probably for about a good 6 to 7 months. Mixed results with it, just because works really well on trending days, choppy days. Choppy days, I was struggling a little bit more with it, but at the same time, during the chop, if you can visualize, and see the chop and know that you're going through some chop, there was probably a lot of days where I just probably shouldn't have traded the strategy. So I started to refine it and got it to a point where I liked where the strategy was at, and I actually had an indicator developed for NinjaTrader based on that Quant Trade Edge with his strategy. He's got a great channel. He's awesome too. I mean, I like these down to earth kind of guys that are not like selling you a bunch of crap. Granted, Bob Anderson obviously sold me on the system, but I am more than happy to support Bob in this endeavor that he went, because I think he's contributed a lot to the trading community, and I applaud him for that. So I have no problem supporting him on this software. But again, going back to it, the guy's channel, I'll put his channel in there too. So I developed an indicator, and I'll do a video on that, showing that on that indicator, and I might even figure out a way where I can release or send subscribers that indicator for free. I developed it, I paid for it, but I'm not charging people for it or anything like that. And again, super simple strategy. It's not an auto trader, so you do have to be looking at the charts, which is another reason why the time-based trading for me works with my style, with my lifestyle. As you know, I am a real estate broker. I am a managing broker of a RE/MAX office in Chicago. So that is my full-time job. That's what I pay the bills with. So that does take up a big portion of my day, and I don't want to be looking at charts all day either. So some of those strategies that make you look at charts, for until that strategy hits or that pattern hits, for me are a little bit difficult. So that's why I have evolved into this time-based. That's why I like the morning sessions, for many reasons, volatility, and if I know my setups don't come up, it's okay. They'll be there tomorrow. That's another thing is, I was getting a little frustrated with
order submitted,
and I was getting a little frustrated there this morning, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. If I can't trade one particular instrument today because there's an issue, it's no big deal. There'll be trade setups tomorrow during that window. So look at that rip. Look at that rip in oil. Holy moly. That's a good one there. Let me take a look. So crude oil inventories just came out at 4.49 million. Which was lower than, looks like it was lower than expectations, but in the green. So that's that rip right there. Yeah, that's what that rip was there. Let's bring this down a little bit so we can see what's going on. I don't think that there is nothing that's set up. Nope. And then for those of you that follow Robert Anderson's his channel, here's your overnight open, your low, and your high of day. I think is somewhere up there. So that's in true form. He teaches that a lot. He's got a great overnight trade that, he said likes to see the rejection.
Order canceled.
Of that. So it looks like, okay. So there was a trade set up. I just didn't expand my screen. So when I have my screen open too much, I do it so that you, the viewer, can see the chart easier. But at the same time, the orders that when the system is trying to activate, it places an order up here, way up here, and it waits. It kind of stalks the candlesticks for it to activate. So when I have it stretched out, you can't see them. Sometimes they're a little bit higher. So once I'm really going off of the visual, the audio cue that the system throws out there. So yeah, I think before that I was just mentioning about the candlestick indicator. I will do a video on that one, and I will figure out a way where I can release that to people that want to trade that candlestick pattern and you also need to have NinjaTrader because that's what I had it built for. My oil trade in the morning, my oil setup is pretty simple. You can trade that on any platform, any charting. I like to chart it with my TradingView chart over NinjaTrader, but I obviously take the trade in NinjaTrader. Sometimes I take the trade in my TradeStation account that's also attached to TradingView, which seems to be easier. But for me, NinjaTrader right now, even though I got to say the last 2 days have been a little bit annoying with them, I will still say that they're a great trading platform.
Order submitted.
All right, so looks like we got a buy setup. So we obviously had that huge push, which was on news. It was a red headline. So again, I don't know if maybe I should be deactivating it during a news. It's not going to take a trade on a pump, which I like. I like that idea because usually these huge pumps have a retracement. But I'm actually okay with this taking a trade here. I don't know. I could obviously just keep pumping down, but so what the system is looking for right now is now that this activated. So the trade. So this is the candle that
Order
activated.
submitted.
We are in a trade now. So the entry order keeps trailing down the candles, and once it pierces, the trade is on. So we're in right now on oil, a CL1 contract. We're looking for 20 points, 20 cents on the oil, and it looks like we have a 10-cent stop loss. So risking 100 to make 200, so a 1 to 2 risk to reward, which I'm okay with. Granted, maybe not the best setup because it's coming right after news, and typically it can get a little wacky. So, it is what it is. But let's see how the system does here. We're sitting in $40, $60 of profit. Let's see, $50 of profit, 70, 80. So I'm curious to see where the break even is going to go. It usually has it triggering, and maybe when it's halfway. Yesterday I thought that the auto break even was a little bit too aggressive. Granted, it works. It saved me out of a bad trade, but also sometimes won't give you enough space to finish out the trade. So it's I guess there's plus and minus on it. As I start working with the system more, and I get more data, I will see if if he adjusts those settings, and see if it could be optimized here at all. So we're kind of stalling out at our entry line. Kind of feel like your entry lines always becomes your new resistance line. It's kind of funny, but okay. So once it hit 100, so exactly at halfway point, it goes to break even plus a tick. So, the tick there is, like I said, it's probably just to cover your commissions. So right now I'm at $112 of profit. I'm sorry, $110 of profit, $90. So let's see. Yesterday I think I had a few wick out at me at break even. So there weren't losing trades, but It would be nice to have a win here to offset that a $60 loss that I had from the morning on the Russell, but it looks like I'm going to get
Order
wiped out.
canceled.
All right, so there you go. Second trade of the day, oil trade, which we had a huge push off red news. We had a pull back down into the the 1 minute goal line, and had the trade activate, and we were in some profits. We were in profit. I think the best that we got in profit was maybe $120, $130. So pretty close to our take profit. But then once the system went to half profit, which was $100, the the break even triggered, set it to +1, so break even +1 tick, and that's what it reversed back down to. Now, and again, system does saves you some money, because we would have been in drawdown. We probably would have gotten our stop hit. Believe that we would have had our stop hit. Yes, we would have. So I mean, it saved us there $100 from, again, hey, the system is what it is, so for the day, this was a break-even trade. The Russell, I had one trade where I lost $60, and 2 trades total. So I'll give it, let's see how long we're doing on the video right now. 30 minutes. Okay. So I'll give the system another 20 minutes. So I'll take it to 10 o'clock Central Time, and we'll see if we get activated into another trade or not. Which I would love for it to. I'd love to see it take another one. It is pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. Win or lose, I know that's a huge, that's what we're here for, is to try to make some money. But at the same time, all this stuff is pretty damn cool to me. So I enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy this channel and enjoy talking to, even if I'm talking to myself at the end of the day and nobody even watches these videos. I think just for my own self and to help my own trading, I enjoy it. So, all right, I'm gonna step out for a few minutes, and let's see if this system captures any new trades. I think we can probably squeeze this in like that and everybody could see it. Yep. So we'll see if the system takes any new trades, and if they does, I will pop back on and give some commentary on what's kind of going on. So haven't really haven't seen. So here we do have a pullback, but at the same time, I don't know if this is too many touches now, because the system definitely did not activate here. And the RTY has been pretty quiet. Not
Order submitted.
all right. Let's see what okay. Like I thought, I kind of figured we had a pullback here, so we should get into. We should be seeing something, and so it looks like we did trigger the 1 minute goal line, 5 minute goal line. So this might, interesting here. Let's see what happens here. Interested to see what the system.
Order canceled.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it activated and then canceled out the trade. I'm trying to think of why. So activated. Oh, because we didn't get the price action going down. We didn't get that ladder going down, which I know he really likes. For that buy order then to come down and try to get activated. So that's my feeling. I mean, I'm giving you my interpretation of it. Again, if you haven't followed Robert Anderson's strategy, you might be lost here looking at the screen and hearing me commentate on it. So I highly recommend visiting his channel and, learning the strategy. Just to give a recap on the day, we took a trade in oil that was in profit about 12, maybe 13 cents. Might have even got up to 14 points, so we were right at about $140 at 10 bucks at point or tick, whatever you want to call it, on the oil. And took a trade in the Russell. That was my first trade that came up. I think that activated somewhere let's call it 9, between 9:05 and 9:10. And that one was in profit for a few seconds and then quickly whipped out on us. So that one took a loss of 12 ticks, $60. So on my Top Step eval account that both of these are linked up to, we've got a $60 loss plus my commissions on that. Again, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all because, like I said, yesterday I was up. Yesterday I walked away with a 185-ish profit, maybe 190. Had a nice $250 plus trade on the ES, which was great. So didn't take that trade on the CL, and on the Russell, which we would really like to see is a stronger pullback to this 5-minute goal line. That to me would be a great setup because we've been dumping here since almost 9:30. So maybe take a breather, let's get some people thinking that maybe we're going to go long and get a rejection and continue the trend downward. That's the play on the pullback. But the Russell hasn't given us that setup today, so I'm wondering how the NASDAQ and the ES would have fared with the system today. You know what, let's just, for shits and giggles, hope I don't regret this, but for shits and giggles, let's hop over to the NQ and let's see. The strategy is going to have to reload with that new symbol. And I believe it's going to tell us all of the trades that it would have taken at that moment. And then we'll come back to the Russell, and because this looks like to me would look like a great setup. If we were to get a pullback to this 5-minute goal line, that would be a great, I think, a great entry for me, or for the system to take. I don't gotta trade it anymore manually. So, all right, let's hop over here to the NQ. Let's see what's going on. All right, so we switched over. You can see now the system, the strategy is like, hey, what are you doing? We were on the Russell. Now we're going into the NQ. So I need to boot up the strategy, and then it's going to run, I believe, the strategy from the starting time of 8:45. Now, here's one thing is, now that we changed the instrument, we would need also to change the strategy to match the instrument, because the strategy still is the settings are still on the Russell that we were just on. So when you change instruments and you're not on a separate screen, do know that you're going to have to go back into the strategy and change out for the NQ. So that's important to know. And then let me just make sure. Yeah, so these are all still the settings loaded for the Russell. To load the NQ, you go to template, load, and then it's going to take a second because I think the strategy is still trying to load. So give it a moment. $1,000 daily target, $300 daily loss. Well, now what's taking so long? Come on. You can do it. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to get out of the strategy. I'm not going to do that. So I have to enable it, and then I can load the template. But this is where you would load the template for the NQ. The only reason why I'm not going to load it is I have to change the time because I got to put them all in Central Time. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I feel bad if this guy was to watch my video and he'd be like, dude, you're butchering this whole thing. All right, so I'll do it the right way. I will change my template. I'll load the NQ. So now it's got all of the stops and the profit, the targets are all loaded for the NQ. But now I'm going to have to go in here and, oh, well, maybe I don't. That's weird. Okay, I like that. So my times are okay. All right, so let's enable this. And then it should look back until from 8:45 and see. Let's see how the NQ would have done today. You guys can see I'm trading out of my Top Step account. All right, so now that it's calculating, it's going to reboot. Hopefully I'm not missing that Russell move. It's okay if I am. let's see. Let's see what it... Oh, another thing. I guess I should have gone over this yesterday, but he does have in the system, you can switch between just looking for longs, just looking for shorts, for both of them being on, and then obviously you can also have a close position. So like if I could see into the future and I would have noticed, I would have saw that the oil trade that we were just in was going to reverse on me. I could have closed the position at 140
Order
bucks.
submitted.
Man, that's weird. It's like that happened to me yesterday in the ES where I switched the instrument and then right away trade kind of set up. But I do see here a 1 minute goal line trade where we tap back into it. Looks like we had a reset here. All right, let's see if there was any trades taken today. Let's see if it would have done any trades. And and again, you know, I could be wrong here. No, it doesn't look like there's any. It doesn't look like it would have taken any trades today. I believe that once you load the system, it'll tell you the trades that it would have taken today and if they would have been profitable or not. So it would have kind of keeps track of the daily thing, even though you haven't been trading this instrument. So, and by looks of it, you know, it looks like a trade tried to activate here. But it doesn't look like there is anything, because normally there's a little box that comes up with the trade details.
Order canceled.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to get a trade here on the NQ. That would have been exciting. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. So we weren't able to get a trade there. So yeah, that's what these three buttons are on. That's what those three buttons kind of do. The box down here, it just says, yes, we are looking for the 1 minute goal line trade, the 5 minute goal line trade, and the 5 minute red line trade. I think yesterday I might have been saying the 1 minute red line. But these are the three trades that we're actively looking at. Those are the ones that you see in the strategy settings. So you can customize all of this. The 1 minute you can change things around where you want break even, stop loss, your start times for that. Like he's got some built-in things. I haven't messed around with that. The only thing I had to do was change it to Central Time, which man, I sent an email to support and I still haven't gotten a response back yet. I know they're probably overwhelmed with the launch of the new product, but I just want to verify that as a default it comes in at 9:45 as start time. Markets open at 8:30 here Central, so I'm assuming that was set to New York, so that I should adjust everything to Central Time. I would like a confirmation on that, because that could affect trades, what you're taking, what you're not taking. But I do believe that this is right. It's got the 5 minute goal line trades, all of the same settings you can customize, and it's got the 5 minute red line trade, which I really enjoy. I enjoy these. I enjoy the red line. I enjoy the 5 minute goal line trade. The 1 minute goal line, great for continuation, trend based trading. But again, I just don't see a lot of it. What else do we have here? Again, we talked about the daily loss. You can put a daily target, a daily loss. So I've got it just set to $1,000 profit. Man, would it be nice to get $1,000 profit? It's got a max loss of 300, max trades of 5. So after 5 trades on this strategy, so on this chart, it would take five total trades. And it would stop trading after 3 wins. You can of course adjust that. This has it where after 3 losing trades, it will stop. And then it looks like also you can take a max of 2 trades per direction. So that's where, okay, that's a good one to see, because sometimes I'm like, well, I wonder why I didn't take that. Well, it's probably because it's already touched that line already twice, and the system has it where after two touches, it won't take that trade anymore. And again, watch his channel, because he definitely has always said that, the more time it touches has a pullback, touches the EMA, the less effective the trade starts to get. So that is in line with his strategy. These are the colors, so you can change colors on the chart if you're not digging the maroon, and I don't even know what kind of green this is. It's an ugly green, but at the same time, I ain't changing it, because if it's good enough for Bob, it's good enough for Rob. Obviously, make sure you know what account you're trading out of. So if you've got a cash account, if you've got a prop account, if you've got the sim, there's a place where you can change that. What else? We've got, and obviously you've got to enable it. And then the templates. So he sent over templates, and he made a video that night that
Order
stated
submitted.
that the templates might have been wrong. I'm still using the ones he sent. I haven't seen anything from their customer service saying, hey, these are the templates that we want you to use now. So I'm just going
Order
off of what
canceled.
was sent. But the NQ looked like it was going to activate there, and then one of the rules must have been broken, and it deactivated. So not the most eventful day. We had a trade here.
Connection
we had
locked.
a trade here at on the oil that was positive, and what just happened there? Okay, well, no, the connections are okay. I had a trade there in oil and went in profit. Snapback took me out for auto, break even, +1. We took a trade on the Russell before switching over to the NQ. We lost $60 on that trade. So for today, on this eval account, we are down $60 for day 2. I think I'm going to cut this video off here, and I'll probably keep this. I'm going to keep this open trading until maybe noon, maybe a little bit sooner. Got an appointment in the city at 1, so I might keep this open until 12 o'clock, but I'm going to cut the video now because nobody wants to be sitting here for an hour and a half. Even though I could put some thumbnails or some what the heck do they call those, like timestamps on the video, so you could just kind of jump to the trades. Hopefully you like to listen to my commentary and some of the explanation for the good or the bad. But I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Overall, losing day for me today. $60 on my Top Step eval account. I had a $250 loss on my cash account on a NASDAQ trade that I took this morning, separate from the Robert Anderson Gold Line trade. Had nothing to do with that strategy. But like I promised, tomorrow I will be, either tomorrow or Friday, I will be releasing the video on my oil setup in the morning that I take every single morning. I should say most mornings, because sometimes the setup doesn't show up perfectly, but it's very rare. And I will show that. I will be demonstrating to you that strategy. I think you guys are going to all enjoy it, for those that are into futures. And I know I would have loved to see this strategy. And so, all right, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys all soon.